Hi, this is Audrey Choi. Today I will talk about the seriousness and harm of air pollution. We are not very afraid of death that may come in a year or 5 years. We fear accidents from loud barking dogs, fast-moving cars, and high-flying planes. In reality, indirect deaths from automobile exhaust are far more threatening than deaths from automobile accidents. A WHO study a few years ago found that air pollution kills 7 million prematurely yearly. Far more people do not die young from such pollution but suffer in one way or another. In dollar terms, pretending to be quantifiable, air pollution from road transportation causes $1 trillion in negative health impacts, cancer, premature death, heart attack, etc. in OECD countries annually. Environmental pollution is not far away from me. Still, I live in a polluted environment, and I am directly and indirectly harmed by it and, at the same time, harming others. There is pollution, such as air pollution, where I pollute the natural environment and cause damage to myself. In some cases, such as water and air pollution, I am harmed by the natural environment polluted by other people or countries. There is also pollution, such as land pollution, where what I pollute causes damage to my descendants and me. For example, the global temperature is rising due to various causes such as CO2 emission and ozone layer depletion. Global warming is caused by pollution everywhere in the world, and the damage is mainly affected in the polar regions and island countries such as the Maldives. As glaciers melt in the polar regions, habitats for polar animals and plants are disappearing. Melted glacier water raises the global sea level, causing damage from tsunamis or flooding in countries with low surface levels and island countries, and long-term damage to countries such as the Maldives by being submerged in the sea. Most air pollution causes immediate and sequential damage based on where the pollution occurred. As shown in the figure, pollution caused by dust such as particulate matter, PM2.5, and various harmful gases such as NOx caused by exhaust gas from vehicles and pollutant emissions from factories and homes causes damage mainly in the area where pollutants are generated. First of all, let's find out about the air pollution that immediately damages me. Pollution is the world's most significant environmental threat to health. There are 9 million premature deaths due to pollution, or 16% of deaths worldwide. Pollution kills especially the poor and the vulnerable. 92% of deaths by pollution occur in low and middle income countries, and children are most affected. How many people die from air pollution each year? Every year, at least 6.7 million and up to 8.7 million people worldwide die from air pollution. Our World in Data published the number of deaths by cause and number of deaths by the risk factors in the world every year. The cause of death refers to the direct cause, and the risk factor refers to the indirect cause. The chart shows the top 5 risk factors of death based on the number of deaths. In terms of the number of deaths, the number 1 risk factor for death is high blood pressure, the second is smoking, and surprisingly, the third is air pollution. The fourth and fifth are diabetes, high blood sugar, and obesity. You can see that about 6.6 million people die every year in the world due to air pollution. The deaths due to air pollution can be divided into outdoor air pollution and indoor air pollution. 4.5 million people die from outdoor air pollution, and 2.3 million die from indoor air pollution. The surprising part is that 1.2 million people died due to road injuries, whereas 4.5 million died due to outdoor air pollution, which is about 4 times. As mentioned earlier, we are concerned about dying in automobile accidents, but overlooking that automobile exhaust can kill more people. Regarding the deaths caused by outdoor air pollution, studies have been actively conducted since the early 2000s that long-term exposure to various air pollutants such as fine dust and nitrogen oxides has a significant effect on ischemic heart disease and heart attack. Air pollution not only increases the number of deaths for lung cancer and respiratory diseases, but fine dust passes through the lungs and enters blood vessels and blood, causing various heart diseases. According to an MIT study, air pollution causes 200,000 premature deaths annually in the US. You might think that air pollution deaths are a problem in other countries, not the United States. Which state has the most air pollution in the US? The answer is California. Which city has the most air pollution in the US? Los Angeles is one of the most polluted cities. Data on this will come later, and today we'll talk about problems from air pollution in Los Angeles. In LA, 1,341 deaths are due to air pollution in a year. 619 deaths were due to ozone on the ground, and 721 deaths were due to lung damage caused by particulate matter like fine dust. Other data show that in Los Angeles, for every 100 children aged 15 years, there were 8 children with significant lung deficits in 1998 and 3.5 in 2011. Although it has been reduced by half compared to 1998 through many efforts, it is still at a severe level. This data does not mean that air pollution is getting better because of less. It means we can provide a healthier environment for children by reducing air pollution from cars, trucks, and planes, etc. Why does air pollution like this happen? We should know what causes air pollution to solve the air pollution problem. We can easily think of exhaust gases from automobiles, factories, and power plants. Of course, they are also important factors, but there are various causes other than that, and these causes differ depending on the local population, climate, geometry, local industrial type, etc. The following is a cause analysis result based on data surveyed in Minnesota. Fine dust, PM2.5, is unexpectedly generated by burning wood used in homes, etc., and it often occurs in wood stoves, boilers, and campfires. Nitrogen oxide, which is a facial to humans, occurs in factories, agricultural machinery, and automobiles. Air pollution in California is different from Minnesota. In California, NOx mainly comes from heavy vehicles on the road, such as trucks, and the second comes from stationary sources, such as power plants, factories, and farms. It can be seen at the combined amount of NOx generated by heavy, medium, and light-duty vehicle accounts for about 40%. If you look at the source of CO2, which significantly impacts global warming, you can see that 41% of CO2 comes from automobiles and 24% from factories, similar to NOx and CO2. However, the most critical factor in air pollution in California is the ozone problem in our living environment. Ozone is closely related to NOx and the like because the reaction between NOx and sunlight generates ozone. Checkpoint. Isn't ozone necessary? Isn't ozone essential for humans? Is it harmful? Ozone is distributed in the stratosphere and the troposphere, and its location determines whether it is necessary or harmful. The ozone layer is generally destroyed, and the sun's ultraviolet rays directly enter, causing global warming and skin cancer. So, you've probably heard much more about the need to protect the ozone layer. In the picture, blue indicates the part where the ozone layer is destroyed due to lack of ozone. It may be hard to imagine that pollution could be invisible, but ozone begins that way. As ozone concentrates and mixes with other pollutants, we often call it by its older, more common name, smog. It is currently one of the least well-controlled pollutants in the United States, and it is also one of the most dangerous. Breathing ozone can shorten your life. Strong evidence exists of the deadly impact of ozone from extensive studies conducted in cities across the US, Europe, and Asia. Researchers repeatedly found that the risk of premature death increased with higher ozone levels. Newer research has confirmed that ozone increases the risk of early death even when other pollutants are present. The leading cause of air pollution in California is automobile exhaust. Fine dust, CO2, and nitrogen oxides are emitted a lot, which create a lot of ozone on the ground. A lot of dust, including fine dust, can blur your sight and let people know that the seriousness of the pollution, while pollution by ozone can kill people without anyone knowing. If you live in California, especially near Los Angeles, you should look at the picture below. The following graph shows the top 10 cities in the United States with the highest annual pollution by fine dust. You can see that the top 5 are all major cities in California. The following are the top 10 cities with the highest ozone pollution. Similarly, you can see that 5 cities in the top 6 are major cities in California. San Jose and San Francisco, which ranked 4th in 5 dust, disappeared, and San Diego was added in 5th place. As the weather heats up, ground-level ozone pollution increases as pollutants react to heat and sunlight. Ozone levels often increase with summer wildfires, worsening air quality, and ozone-related breathing issues. And just seeing the clear side doesn't mean the air is clean. In particular, air pollution caused by invisible fine dust and ozone and nitrogen oxide around us can cause many people to get sick or die. The following article hints at how to reduce air pollution in California and the United States. The following is a Business Insider article from April 8, 2020. In the left picture, you can see that smog hangs over city on a day rated as having moderate air quality in downtown LA on June 11, 2019. In the right picture, you can see that downtown freeways are empty in traffic as the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, spread in Los Angeles on April 7, 2020. LA, notorious for this smog, has some of the cleanest air in the world, as California stays under lockdown to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. The improvement could be attributed to fewer planes flying and fewer cars in the road. However, experts predict the air quality will go down again once the lockdown is lifted. A way to reduce air pollution is to reduce pollution made by transportation such as automobiles. How do we do this? Next to be stuck in immobile at home, or should several people gather and use one car? It's all good, but it's an impractical alternative. An alternative is to use non-polluting means of transport. So, what are non-polluting means of transportation? Is it an electric vehicle that uses a battery? How do we make electricity? Wouldn't a power plant cause pollution to make electricity? We will talk about this in detail in the following video. Thank you for watching. Audrey Choi has spoken so far.